Hey guys, my name's Anthony with Bird City Comics. Join with me is Ellie. How are you doing, Ellie?
I'm doing good. Very nice
Right
day.
on. I like it. And we're about to talk about the Batman. Do it, Ellie. Let's hear your best Batman.
Oh, I'm Pablo. I can't.
I love it. All right, guys. Ellie and I went to the movies and we saw the Batman. Fantastic. We're going to give you a quick overview. There may be some spoilers in there, so make sure that you guys are paying attention. We're telling you right now, spoilers may hit you. Ellie, were there spoilers in here?
Oh, there's a million spoilers in here.
Millions of spoilers. So make sure you understand for the last time, spoilers are in this. All right, let's get this bad boy started. Ellie, we're reviewing the movie The Batman. And nice picture of Arkham Asylum from the video game series. Where'd you find this at?
Google. It's a fan art by someone. I'm not sure, but they're talented. Pretty cool.
I dig it. All right, let's get right into this. So we like to work in a couple different layers here. Tell me what you've made here, Ellie. Where are we starting?
So the basic premise of the movie follows the Riddler, and this is year 2. So not a lot has been fledged out. Batman's still relatively new to the whole crime vigilante thing.
Right on.
But basically, the guy targets people who are in high power, like politicians and stuff.
Yeah.
And he tries to expose them. So in some ways, he is trying to do the best for the city, but he's failing miserably at actually doing that. He's not taking it the right way. So he murders them and leaves riddles and clues. And on the slide is one of the riddles, the answer.
So what's really cool about this is that a lot of the way he goes about it is a lot of the civilians are kind of on his side, because even though he is a murderer and he is doing it in these horrific ways, he is taking down corrupt politicians. What do you think about that?
Most of them are just horrible. They have a bunch of stuff that they're hiding, but everyone has skeletons in their closet. He's just kind of exposing a lot of them. But I like the clue thing. I think the whole riddle detective thing really made the movie interesting, because it's trying to solve it before everyone else could. It's kind of entertaining for me.
Cool. All right, and then so that's the premise of the movie. The Riddler is bringing all these politicians to their knees. It's very detective-y driven. Everybody's calling it a noir, but there's plenty of action in it. But let's get to some statistics. Ellie, what did you create here?
Okay, so that's how much is made globally in the opening weekend.
No way.
248.5 million.
Wow.
And that was humongous. It's the best opening so far in 2022. And the second highest in the whole pandemic thing. The first one was Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is
they gave them a run though. They finally DC gave Marvel a run for their money.
Yeah, they did beat Uncharted too this year.
Nice.
So
okay.
Cool.
So we got Rotten Tomatoes 85%, IMDb 8.4 out of 10, and Google gave it a 91%. That's very, very cool. All right, so now we're going to get into the casting, guys. So we're getting a lot of back and forth on the Robert Pattinson as Batman, aka Bruce Wayne. Of course, he was in a couple of our favorite movies, mine, Harry Potter. Ellie, from the Twilight series, you're a big fan of him there?
No,
Really?
Harry Potter he isn't like Twilight either, though, in my defense.
Are you Harry Potter for life?
Oh, of course. Who prefers Twilight over Harry Potter, though? Why?
Nope.
No,
I like Harry Potter over Twilight. I was just joking. Okay, so but what did you think? So you've got they tend to cast him as the pretty boy, and I know people are going to jump into the chat and they're going to say, "No, he was really good in this what's the dramatic one that he was in from I think it was a 9/11 movie."
Yeah, there's a lot of indie movies that he's been in lately that kind of fledges out his acting more. But people really only know him from these 2 franchises, which is kind of sad, because if you go and watch those, he's actually way better at the whole dark thing, which is why I actually thought he was going to be a good Batman when I first saw the trailer.
Okay, so you bought him as Batman.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was cool.
Right. I dig it. What would you feel about the whole emo vibe, though?
I mean, I think that was kind of the point, though, him being all broody, because he doesn't really have a lot of experience yet. He's 20-something in this, I think. So
he's still immature. I guess that makes more sense for his year 0, year 1, year 2 type of Batman.
Yeah, he was not the mature one. Yeah, he wasn't the full-on, I'm going to say blah, blah.
Well, a lot of people had problems with people landing punches on him, too, during the movie. And it was if it's early on in the Batman career, people landed punches. He wasn't able to beat up 20 guys at once untouched, right at the end.
Yeah, and also we just watched Batman Hush, and he got like destroyed in one scene. I swear, like he like,
Well,
oh my gosh.
we'll get to that. And then, what do you think about the casting of Ms. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman?
I like the representation. I really like that. I thought it was cool. And I found out when I was doing research that she's actually played Catwoman in Lego Batman too. So I thought that was kind of interesting how she was a voice and she's also the actual one in live action.
I didn't know that.
That was cool. And then she is in Marvel. She plays Mary Jane in Spider-Man the Spider-Verse, and she plays Letta Lestrange in Fantastic Beasts. So that's pretty cool how she kind of dominates 3 of the most high-selling franchises ever. So that's kind of cool.
Awesome. I had no idea.
Right?
And the costume wasn't bad, right? We're gonna get into that later, but yeah, the design wasn't bad, and people are already like homaging this in comic books. But yeah, Zoe Kravitz I thought was solid. She's very catty looking anyway in her features. So yeah, this was a win for me. All right, let's get into the Riddler here.
I have not seen any of these movies. I know my mom has. She was like, "Oh my gosh," but I haven't seen any of them. But he has done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen Little Miss Sunshine. I've seen There Will Be Blood. I think as far as acting is concerned, I thought this was a good choice because the Riddler is not known for physical strength. He does all the damage with his mind, and obviously, putting together these string. He's a planner. He could have been like it's almost like playing chess with him, which is cool. So I dug it. I thought he was enough out there that it worked for him. What did you feel? Did you buy the character? Because they represent him. He's kind of big and bulky when he's in his mask. He's scary. He's kind of gives off that broody vibe. And then when you take off the mask, this is what we get. What did you feel about this?
I thought it was cool. He kind of gave me Thanos vibes, only he wasn't like a giant purple monster that tried to kill everybody. Well, he did try to kill everybody, but just not like that way. But honestly, I saw a lot of comparisons between him and Batman. Like even he said that like we're like the same because they both like hide their own personas behind this mask that makes them seem like they're much more intimidating than they actually are. And they're both extremely smart.
Because you're right. At the end of the movie, spoiler, at the end of the movie, when they're talking, he says, "My mask is who I really am. Your mask is who you really are. Our names are who we pretend to be."
Exactly. Like they kind of both hide in a little way.
I dig it. And then
can we go back for like 1 second? What do you think about the name change? Because it was Edward Nygma and now it's Edward Nash in the actual thing.
I mean, I like the old school play on words type situations where they're like Enigma and all that type of stuff. I didn't care for the name change. I don't like when they break from continuity, but whatevs. I mean, it doesn't. It's not an end all be all.
I didn't really notice, but then afterwards I was like, wait a second. So that was cool. I liked him. I thought it was pretty good. Okay, we can go to the next one now.
Stamp of approval. All right, and then we got Colin Farrell, Penguin, a.k.a. Oswald Cobblepot. They kept his name. Colin Farrell's a fairly... I mean, I think he's good in almost anything he's in.
I'm just noticing how much they changed his features from the Penguin. Like, That's a lot of makeup. And he's in a lot of cool stuff. He's in Crimes of Grindelwald with Zoe, too. So I thought that was pretty cool how they probably worked. I wonder if they had, that's why they had such great chemistry in this show. They really worked together because they've already done that previously.
I like that. And he's Bullseye in the Daredevil, and he's the dad in Artemis Fowl. So yeah, he's got some pretty dominant roles. What did you feel about him as a gangster? Because the Penguin to me was always like the gangster. In this, he played like a lower level. So this really does give you that year 1, year 2 vibe from Batman because he's not much yet.
Yeah, I kind of wish they gave him something more to make him stand out though. Like he was kind of like any brute with a gun in this one. Like I wish he had something. Like didn't he have an umbrella?
Right. Well, the classic character is. Well, remember, you and I were laughing because there is spoiler alert. I think we need like a graphic that pops up that goes spoiler alert.
Let's just put that throughout the entire thing.
But I think there's a part where he's tied up. Won't say why to give too much away, but he's tied up, and they leave him tied up after they get some information. And he actually does a little penguin waddle because his legs are tied. And I'm like, he's waddling like a penguin in the middle of the movie theater, which was kind of loud.
He said that super loud. Everyone looked at us. I was like, oh
because he's like tied up and he's like, wow, 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 wow. And he's like, are you guys going to untie me? And I'm like, he's waddling like a penguin. But that was a big thing for me, apparently.
I mean,
but yeah, thumbs up on this guy?
In the middle for me, honestly.
Okay.
I like his performance. I feel like they could have fleshed him out a little bit more.
You want a little more meat, a little less potato? I like it.
Yeah, other than that, though, good. Okay, he was my favorite character.
All right, I'll let you go on this one. You go to town.
He He was my favorite character. He was the only one who was like full on done with everybody because he should have been full on done with everyone. And he was so nice and he was like willing to help everybody and he wasn't trying to get like his own ego in the way of just trying to like fix everything. He was my favorite character. I liked him.
The most badass part in the movie, spoiler alert, is when they got Batman in the interrogation room and he's getting all feisty and he grabs Batman and slams Batman against a wall. And he's like, enough. And Batman just looks at him and I'm like, did that dude just slam Batman in the wall and get away with it?
Another spoiler too. And then he lets him punch him and takes the punch from Batman.
The punch.
Like he just went like got knocked out and it was hilarious, but still he took it.
Jim Gordon was a badass in this movie.
And he's also in he was the Watcher in What If.
Very cool.
So I thought that was cool. And he was also I think his name's BB. So he was like into this like electrician stuff in the Hunger Games. He was one of my favorite characters in the Hunger Games, actually.
Oh, that's right. He was one of the past champions, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like the dude that electrocuted everybody. So I loved him. He was my favorite character by far.
Yeah, like Jim Gordon, A+ on the casting, represented extremely well. I liked it.
He's my favorite.
All right, and then last but not least, Alfred. We've got some opinions here now. This actor is in everything. This boy has made the rounds. Yeah, right. So you put a couple here. What is he in these ones?
Well, I've never seen Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Never seen it. I'm sorry. I don't know if I should have seen that. He's the guy with the arm in Black Panther. What's his name?
Claw.
Yeah, and then he's Gollum. I did not know he was Gollum.
And then Schmeagol too.
Yeah, and then he's in like a bunch of Star Wars movies and stuff. Like he's in everything.
He
I
is
only
in
had room
everything.
for 3 stuff. So.
Yeah. So the relationship, I always dug that father-son relationship that these two have, but you do not. Wait, ready? Say it with me, Ellie. Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert.
You do not get that vibe in this movie.
Yeah, they had like 5 minutes of screen time. Like max. Less than that, probably.
Yeah, it's on and off. And when they do interact with each other, I don't get the vibe that Bruce Wayne likes him at all.
Just kind of like leads to an end with him. He's just like, okay, my parents know you. Like,
exactly.
I like it.
And even when he does the whole sentimental, all right, ready? Let's try it together this time. 1, 2, 3. Spoiler alert. Still,
good?
But I'll take it.
No, I take it. Okay.
It was all right. So even when he has an accident and he's in the hospital and Bruce comes to sit by his side where that's supposed to be the whole thing and he sticks out his hand like to hold my hand. Remember that scene, El? He
immediately just like starts interrogating.
And he was like...
like
that it didn't feel like a brotherhood, it was really weird and awkward. I didn't dig the connection. They had no chemistry.
0. And I feel like he could have been older. Like I don't know why I'm imagining him being like way older than he actually was.
Yeah. And Alfred's a badass. Alfred's supposed to be a badass.
He's like a boxer or something, right?
Yep.
Pretty cool. Yeah, he didn't show a lot with him. Like
absolutely. And that brings us to the Batman soundtrack. So Ellie, you and I, the music did it. Like you think to like great scores, you think of Star Wars, you think of Harry Potter. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say the person that actually produced a lot of this based a lot of it on Star Wars, like the Imperial March and stuff, which makes sense why it's so awesome. Then it's pretty good.
It's a minimalist. As far as like notes are concerned, but there's so much there to unpack and so much feeling into 2 notes. We'll drop a sample as a part of our intro. I'll sample it and you guys can go back and reference it. But so the Batman theme music, I'm not going to even attempt this last name.
Michael.
Michael, we got that part. Highway to the Anger Zone.
That was when he was chasing the penguin. They just like
and that was around. That. Dun, dun, dun.
No, that's the Batman theme. The how it like more like rock. It was very grungy, like a lot.
Yeah,
but I liked it. That was good.
Yeah, the music was fantastic. So, out of a scale of 1 to 10, how did you dig the music?
I liked it. I thought it was really good. Like the whole time, we were like, "This is a good song. Oh, this is a good song. This is a good song." The entire time, so that was good.
I felt it.
Yeah, I liked it. And like on Spotify, it's gone up so much. It's like 700 cents like increase since it came out per song.
That's awesome.
And that's a lot. I was like, oh my God.
That's some good info drop right there. So we recommend if you're in a grungy, broody, the pizza guy did not bring your pizza safely and it smashed to the roof, play yourself the Batman soundtrack and you'll feel it. Character design. Okay, so Ellie, you had some thoughts on this. I have some thoughts on this.
You can go first.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Batman. The Batman's character design I thought was good. I thought that I dug that it's more of an armor. So it's more like a I don't want to call it cyberpunk. It's not quite it. It's more of like an Arkham Knight type vibe. I like that the cowl is not around his jaw, because one thing that always bugged me is that Batman's trained by the League of Assassins. The boy's basically a ninja, but all the other head pieces from the rest of the movies, he seems like he's got really limited movement, which so you don't bite a lot of the fight scenes. Because I mean, if he wants to turn, this is how he turns. In this movie, he can actually turn his head and look and duck and move, and it was just a much better overall design.
Oh, I can hear when you're saying that, and then going, no capes from Incredibles. That's all I can hear.
No capes. But yes, I dug the character design. What did you think about the other two?
Okay, I just want to say with Batman, he got shot so many times. Like, he got shot like 50 times, so that stuff is definitely bulletproof. So I like how it actually looks all like armory.
And ready?
Like
we're gonna try this again. 1, 2, 3.
Spoiler
alert!
Okay, that time you got.
I was late. All right, so the Batman emblem is magnetized or something, and it pops off, and it's a weapon. I thought that was clever.
I wonder. Okay, yeah, I like that too. Is it like a bat, like boomerang or anything?
He never throws it, from what I can see. He uses it more like a knife. He cuts the rope with it and all that shit, and then he snaps it back on. Remember that? And
he has like adrenaline hidden in his like leg. He has like the shot
of
adrenaline.
You gotta say it.
Wait, they know it's gonna
be spoiler alert.
Spoiler! Oh my god, we've said it like 50 times at this point.
Saying then they can go la 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 la. But anyway, yeah, he's got a lot of cool gadgets that does work out of the suit. So, Catwoman was a minimalist design as well. What did you think about the ski mask, the cut, and she put some ears on it?
I kind of wish that there was a little more to that, honestly. Like, I feel like it looks like really uncomfortable. I felt like it would be itchy. It's like having it on your head all the time. That would annoy me. But like, I kind of wish it was made out of like the same material Batman's mask was made out of, like a leather. But again, she like has like no money, and she's like.
And this is the beginning, so yeah, she'll eventually probably graduate up a suit. The fight scenes again with her were really, really well done, but again, you can tell there's like an effect to them for the acrobatics parts.
How'd she even get trained? Like, was there like a thing behind that, or did she just like kind of just know how to fight?
No, Catwoman.
Yeah,
she grew up on the streets, brah.
So she just picked up jujitsu on the streets.
It's a comic book movie, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, right. And then we get over to the Riddler. I'm gonna give this 2 thumbs down. I thought the character design was terrible. I thought the costume was terrible.
Even the dude said he regrets his costume design. The guy.
Oh yeah.
I saw
did he really?
Yeah, he said he wished he took a different direction.
Yeah, I did not care for this at all. I thought it was bad all around. As far it doesn't scream Riddler is my thing. It screams terrorist. It looks
like a gardener to me, like a gardener with a little ski mask and stuff. Like,
if you handed him a hatchet, would you think this was like a hack and slash, like Texas Chainsaw situation?
An axe murderer, yes.
Exactly. So the Riddler. It needs to be smarter. He needed to be. It's missing something there, but I mean, it doesn't drag down the movie at all. Character design was not great on this, so
you didn't really see him a lot either. So it was just like,
I mean, it was always like these funky camera angles, like he was really close up, cell phone stuff like that. So it wasn't too bad. All right, and then we get into a little bit of speculation, guys. So we didn't want to get super heavy into spec, just some comic books to look at because, of course, Bird City Comics. A fun book to have would be this Batman number 28. What's interesting about this one is at the end of the movie, Batman or Riddler is chatting with somebody.
What do you have to say?
Spoiler alert. Atta girl. The war of jokes and riddles begins with the Riddler fresh from prison. I went with this title because at the end of the movie, Riddler is freaking out in his cell, and somebody that appears to be the Joker kind of calms him down and talks with him, and they have a good laugh. So here's a good team up to take down the Batman. This would be a cool one to have in the affordable range. Ellie, do you like my choice?
I do. I've never read this, but it looks cool.
On.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Next up, this is totally out of left field. Iconic Kiss? ? It felt like a recreation of the last page of Batman 610, the iconic Jim Lee Batman Catwoman kiss. They've made statues of this. But there is a scene where Miss Kravitz and Mr. Pattinson do embrace. And there's this slow zoom out. And it is this same thing, except for the proportions are flipped. She's on the left. He's on the right. It's still the thigh. He's still larger than her. And I got that vibe. And I felt like that's what they were going for. But if you do want to pick up that appearance, it's in Batman 610.
Did you practice saying that? I feel like you did.
Embrace?
With the last names. No, the like last names and stuff.
Kravitz and Pattinson?
Yeah, Kravitz and Pattinson, they embrace.
Embrace. All dramatic. So you're saying you liked it.
I'm saying it's not like a sales pitch. It's not like
I'm selling this as a pick.
Okay. All
right. Anyway. And then, of course, everybody's specking on these. These have gone up left and right. Iconic cover, one of my favorite covers of all time, Batman 609, first appearance of Hush. Looks like, let me switch the proportions here. 9.8s are going for $280 raw comics in the $60 range. The last recorded raw in a high grade is going to be about $50. Again, Jim Lee on the art. I love this cover. I love it so much that Ellie, I think you know this, but Nicole, one of my best friends' wives, bought me a thermos with this image on it. Because I love this. That's what's on your. Oh, yeah, that's on my Tumblr. Great image, great art, and first appearance of Hush.
Do you want to talk about why?
So tell me why I picked this one, Ellie, as my final big higher end book.
Okay, I guess Dad was paying much more attention to the movie than I was, because when they're going through spoiler the evidence on the wall.
Wait, we gotta say it.
No, I already did.
Spoiler alert.
Well, when they're going through the evidence on the laws, there's a spray paint that says Hush. And then if you go on this website that's in the movie called ralada.com.
I think that's coming up.
Yeah, you think your entire thing gets hacked, but there's a we'll discuss it later.
We'll get to that. But
you don't get hacked though. It looks like you get hacked. You do not. I freaked out. I was like,
Ellie and I went back and watched the animated series for Hush just to make sure that it all lines up. And I think that if they continue with these movies in what's the best way to say it? So the Long Halloween is what they say this one's based off of, but if they roll this into Hush, that's going to get super badass. So
I mean, they have to make a sequel, right? After that, like
they've got too much momentum to leave it in the back burn. So
here they go.
All right, now we're taking a little break, little timeout, a little fun. Ellie and I have decided to put together recommended movie snacks. So for this movie specifically, Ellie, what is your recommended snack to watch The Batman?
Oreos.
Oreo cookies. And why did you pick Oreos?
Because they're black. That's all. They're good.
They're good. That's the reason. I went with dark chocolate raisinettes and Dr. Pepper cherry flavored. These are our recommended snacks. Ellie and I actually bought these for the movies. I love dark chocolate raisinettes. We got a Coke.
Better.
The Oreos were fine.
They were better.
Well, and really, this is where we were going with this. Oreos and milk for Catwoman, but we couldn't bring milk in.
Well, I just like Oreos, but that works too, I guess.
The other thing is
all technical,
right? Well, the other thing is that the movie runtime is right around 3 hours. You know, throwing 25 minutes for previews. Yep, 2 hours 56 minutes. We recommend that you take a bathroom break a third of the way in, because you're going to need a bathroom break, especially if you stick to our snack regiment that we have here. And
at this point, it's like you cannot miss anything. Like every freaking second, it's like, oh, there's new pieces of evidence. Oh,
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of setup in the first 1/3. When you get to that 2/3 and 3/3, when the stuff's really hitting the fan, you do not want to leave. I went to the bathroom and I hated it. I came back. I'm like, what'd I miss? She's like, I can't even tell you.
I didn't even know. I was like, eh. And you were supposed to be my comic book translator guy, and I just didn't know what was going on. So, guys, we recommend bathroom before, because it is a long movie, and the first third of the movie, that's where your opportunity is. Do not walk away past that point. Okay. Recommended snacks: Oreos, dark chocolate raisinettes, cherry Dr. Pepper. You will enjoy the movie. And then, Ellie, tell us about the website here. Okay, so Ralada is like this whole like website that he created in the movie. So I'm like, one day when I'm making these slides, I'm like, I'm gonna go Google that. So I Googled it, and this freaking screen goes black, and it's like saying tracing. I'm like, oh crap, what virus that is downloaded onto this computer? But then it like shows this message from him, and then there's like click now, and it shows you all these cool posters from like all this Batman stuff, and there's an encryption on one of the pictures. So Dad and I uncrypted it, and it says Gotham's loves to come back.
Right.
And
It
Hush
really,
is
really
kind of
did.
the Riddler's comeback. So it was like, oh.
Because that's another part of the movie. So let's see here. Ellie, if we go to the website, and what was it again?
Ratsalada. It's right there.
Ratsalada.com. This is what you get. How cool is that?
I'm so scared. Okay, now click on that. So that's the encryption, and it does say Gotham loves to come back. And apparently they like update it every once in a while, so I'm gonna be checking that, see what's going on. Hopefully it'll help everyone figure out the sequel, what's gonna go on with that.
Super, super cool. And yeah, so Ellie, what?
Is that it?
That was it. That was all the slides we have.
Okay.
So, real quick, final thoughts. What was your thoughts on this movie? Give me your wrap up pitch here.
I mean, it's really hard for me to hate a movie. I like almost every movie ever, but that one was definitely better than a lot of Marvel movies. And I say that with love because I love Marvel. I'm sorry, but like it definitely blew Captain Marvel out of the water.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Not the Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man.
Oh my goodness.
It definitely
blew.
I'm not gonna say which one, but it destroyed some of the other ones. It was so much better, and I liked being able to like figure out what was going on. It was so like dark and grungy, because I feel like a lot of times DC tries to be Marvel with the movies, like have be all light, but that's not their thing. They're dark. That's the whole point. That's why their TV shows are so much better, and like their animated movies. So I really enjoyed how they kind of went back to the roots for this one. So I thought it was cool.
Ellie, that was the best. I don't even want to follow that up. She hit all the points on the head.
Wait, no, you have to say something.
Wait, well, I'm gonna piggyback. DC finally put out a movie. They are what they are. They didn't try to overdo it. They stayed within their strengths. Storytelling, the darkness of it. I've always been a big DC fan, and people are like, "Why Marvel's better?" You know, it gets a little staticky with all the overpowered characters you have in Marvel. It's nice to have, a little tedious. I mean, there were no powers. You get a highly trained activist, not activist. That's not the right vigilante. Yeah, and you got these super hyper intelligent people, and it makes for a more compelling story because it's more difficult. It's not like he could fly in like Miss Marvel and punch him in the face and it's over. You know, so it takes a little more effort, and I appreciate the journey, I guess. So Ellie, that was a fantastic review. If you guys did enjoy this, we're gonna get this thing posted up on Nearing Nerdvana. We're going to start doing more reviews. What else are we going to do? We're going to do reaction videos to trailers that are dropping. We're going to watch TV shows. Is that it? I think that's I got a little excited. And I was out of the list. But again, if you guys liked it, give us a thumbs up. Any questions, or not questions, but any reactions or comments you want to put in there, drop in the chat. And we appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you next time. Peace.